Turn that scrap wood into cash. So if you're a woodworker, and if you're watching our channel, you probably are, more than likely you have a pile of scrap wood hanging around your shop somewhere. I know we do, we have bins full of it. Well, don't throw it away. You can make good money off just little pieces of scrap wood making these tiny little block signs. These are really good sellers, especially if you're out on site, because not everybody has $50 or $100 to spend on a sign. They might just want a little decoration that they can get for 10 bucks, and these are perfect for that. They're super easy to make, they go really quick, and they look really nice. For these little block signs, we're using our template of the month for December of 2024. I think we're calling this Antler Merry Christmas. And you can find this in the link in the description below, along with everything else we're using today. And this is actually a free template for our premium and executive members, and I'll put a link for that in the description below too, so you can go check out all the benefits that those memberships come with. So guys, make sure you go check out makeawoodsign.com for all your sign carving needs. Let's make some sawdust. For these little block signs, we're actually using a piece of ash that we got, I don't know, a while back. I think we made a small table out of it, but this piece is, I think, like 20 inches by 6 inches, and this stuff carves great. If you haven't used ash, give it a shot. I don't know what's available in your area. This stuff we got down in Phoenix. In our area here up in Golden Valley, there's nothing like this. But it worked really well, and if you have pieces that are just a lot smaller, even if you have little blocks of 2x4s or 2x6, you can do these one at a time. But if you got a longer piece like this, it makes it easier to line them all up and then lay them all out, and then you can cut them after you're done carving them, which is what I did here. So all the carving I did on these little block signs was done with a profile bit at 3/16 of an inch deep. Other than the edge. The edge I used the 45-degree chamfer bit. Now for me personally, I really enjoy doing cursive. Just the difference in the thickness of the lines, and then also with these antlers, it just flows really well. Everything is connected except for the top of the eye in Christmas. Everybody kind of has their own style and certain things they like to carve, and for me, cursive writing with antlers is pretty fun. Now this template has a little bit of variation in the wording as far as the thickness of the lines. So I set my bit to 3/16 of an inch deep, but you can see like the bottom of the E is a little bit thinner than the outsides of the E, and same thing with the Y and the C. You don't have to worry too much about it because it's a pretty small difference, but it is still there. So using the base plate allows you to lift the bit up and get those thinner lines if you want them. You don't have to be real careful about this other than the middle of the S, and then there's a couple areas where you don't want your lettering to touch. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're carving. So when you're doing a bunch of stock signs, which is what this is, it's important to remember that the more you do in one batch, the less time per sign it will take. So what we consider a stock sign is basically anything that's not customized. It's something that you can make an entire batch of, and then as you're on site selling, or even if you're selling online, you can just bam, give them the sign and you get money. Now these little block signs are really good to do because again, they're super cheap, anybody can afford them, and everybody likes having little decorations, especially when it comes to Christmas. So if you were to do 5 of these in one shot, you would have less time per sign in them than if you were to have them one at a time. So if you did them one at a time, let's say it might take you, I don't know, 10-15 minutes to do one, but if you were to do them 5 at a time, then it might take you 7 to 8 minutes to do them. So if you're doing stock signs, get as many done as you can in one batch and you'll save yourself some time. Now once they're all carved, I'm just going to use the chop saw and I'm going to cut them into blocks. Now this entire thing, I didn't even use my tape measure once. That irritates some people to no end, like my dad. But nobody really noticed if something's a little bit off, maybe one block was a little bigger than the other. It hasn't made a difference one way or the other in my sales that I can tell. Again, that's just me. Now, once they're all cut, then I'm going to put the edge on them with my 45-degree chamfer bit. I could have put a little bit bigger edge, and to be honest, I probably should have, but I was just kind of going for time, so I just set that thing in there, got it to where I thought it looked good, and knocked them out. For the color, I used a Rust-Oleum matte finish fire engine red. And honestly, it kind of looks a little bit more orange on the video, but once you put a clear coat on there, it does give it a nice sheen, and it's a nice looking red. I would rather have used some green on there too, but we were completely out of green. Now what I did here is I lined them all up and sanded them all off in one shot. Don't do that. I was being impatient. It didn't work all that great. In fact, one of them kind of got caught up in the random orbital. So sand them off one at a time. It doesn't take hardly any more time. And I think it gives you a little bit better of a sand and a little bit better of a finish. Then once they're all sanded off, I just used our Rust-Oleum clear and I threw a few coats on there. And within 20 minutes, I had, I don't know, maybe $30 worth of nice little block signs to sell. So you guys, these are great selling little projects. And again, you can just use scraps from your wood shop. I would sell these for probably 10 bucks a piece, something like that, depending on the scraps you use and obviously the size. If you're using 2x4s in a real small template, I don't know, 5 or 6 bucks. But altogether, this took me maybe 20 minutes. And if I was to do 5, I'd venture to say I could get 5 done in 30 minutes. 10 bucks a piece, technically that's 100 bucks an hour. So don't throw away all your scrap. You can definitely use it for something. All right, guys, as always, thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, ryan@makeawoodsign.com. Don't forget to go check out this template, plus all the stuff we used today on makeawoodsign.com. We'll see you guys on the next one.